3 years ago, my billionaire grandfather sent me to work at the ground level for experience. No one around me knew my true identity. At lunch, I ordered takeout from a budget meal-sharing app. When my girlfriend, Victoria Jones, saw it, her expression soured immediately. "Sincere Smith, I can't believe you're this kind of person." A colleague, Ethan Williams, whose family got rich from a demolition payout, sauntered over with a smirk. "If you can't afford a decent meal, just say so. We could all chip in a bite so you don't starve. Look at this stuff. What if the stink makes us all sick?" I was unfazed. "It's just lunch. Not everyone is as picky as you. Victoria, I'll take you out for a nice dinner tonight." Victoria looked disgusted. "Forget it. You're ordering from budget apps, and you think you have money to treat me? You promised you'd give me a happy life, but it turns out you're just a scammer." "Let's break up." Ethan, looking triumphant, took the opportunity to wrap his arm around her waist. She flinched but didn't resist. "Oh, stop it. What are we eating later?" "Whatever you want, baby." After they left, my colleagues started whispering. "The pay in our department isn't bad, and he's a team leader. How did he end up like this? Maybe he picked up a bad habit like gambling? We should probably keep our distance from him from now on." 1. After work, I cornered Victoria at the parking garage exit. "Victoria, please don't be rash. We've been together for 2 years. Didn't you always want to come home with me to meet my parents? I promise we'll go tomorrow. Sincere Smith, I only agreed to be your girlfriend because I thought you were honest and motivated. Look at yourself now. Are you worthy of me? Meet your parents? I bet your mom and dad are even bigger paupers than you are." "Victoria, am I not motivated? In just over 2 years, I earned the team leader position on my own merit. My grandfather says a man has to be a man of his word, not try to reach the sky in a single leap." A brand new Mercedes S-Class pulled up, its xenon headlights blinding me. Ethan Williams got out of the car. "Team leader? Big deal. You're still just a wage slave. What kind of future can you offer Victoria on that salary?" I frowned. "You're a wage slave too, and you're my subordinate." He laughed smugly. "You're right. But my parents are rich. My family got $50 million from a demolition payout. In other words, you work to eat. I work for fun. Don't think money makes you better than everyone." Right in front of me, Victoria wrapped her arms around Ethan and gave him a passionate kiss. "Sincere Smith, I want to see the sunrise in the Maldives, swim in Bali, and see the snow in Canada. Can you give me that?" "Without money, it's all just empty talk. Am I supposed to share budget meals with you and dream on?" I closed my eyes and tilted my head back, utterly disappointed in her. Although my grandfather arranged for me to train at the bottom, he firmly believes that marriage should be between social equals and had already arranged a match for me. But I believed love should be a choice. I met Victoria at the company and thought she was different. Was I really fated to be trapped in an arranged marriage? I trembled. "Victoria, I'll give you one last chance. Come home with me tomorrow, have dinner with my parents, and pay respects to my grandfather. If you do, I'll forgive everything that happened today." The two of them burst out laughing. "You're giving me a chance? Ha ha. Sincere, have you lost your mind? Why on earth would I go meet your pauper parents? And that grandfather of yours, you're always quoting his old-fashioned nonsense. It's disgusting. I have no interest in meeting that old fossil. Victoria, don't waste your breath on him. Let's go eat. I'll take you clubbing later." They got in the car, and Ethan deliberately rolled down the window to grope Victoria's thigh right in front of me, shooting me a provocative glare. "Go cry to your grandpa, goody two-shoes. This world isn't for you." The next morning, I was assigning work as usual, but the colleagues were all sluggish. Ethan and Victoria showed up a full hour late, a reek of alcohol wafting in as they opened the door. "You're late. According to company policy, you'll lose your attendance bonus." Ethan propped his feet up on his desk. "Deduct it. I don't care." Victoria frowned. "Are you kidding me? It's the end of the month, and you're docking my bonus. Can you not use your position for personal revenge?" "Personal revenge? These are the company rules. Being 10 minutes late warrants this, and you two were a full hour late. Knowing she couldn't win the argument, Victoria muttered under her breath. What a wretch. He gets dumped and takes it out on us like this. He's just a team leader, acting like he's some big shot. Ethan chimed in, Don't be angry, Victoria. How much is the attendance bonus? $2,000? I'll give you $10,000. It's no big deal. Victoria's face lit up instantly. I knew you were the best, Big E. Ethan pinched her backside. My little baby, I'd give my life to make you happy. What's money? We have plenty of it at home. The two then started making out. I slammed my hand on the table. This is working hours, please conduct yourselves professionally. Ethan looked annoyed. I handed them their work assignments. Without even looking at it, Ethan threw the paper on the floor and spat on it. I watched him with cold eyes. What's your problem? You don't want to work here anymore? He grinned. That's right, I'm done. So what? Look at you, you pathetic loser, getting a little power and thinking you're king. Anyone who knows you knows you're just a team leader. Anyone who doesn't might think you're the general manager. I shook my head. If you don't want to work, then get out. The company has no shortage of people like you. The department manager happened to be passing by and heard the argument. What is going on in here? Ethan's face changed in an instant. Manager Sir Team Leader Smith is bullying a female colleague, and he insulted me. This was a subsidiary of the Smith Corporation. Before I arrived, my grandfather had given specific instructions that besides the general manager, no one was to know my identity. The department manager looked at the document on the floor, stained with spit and a footprint, and frowned. Team Leader Smith, did you do this? No, manager, it was him. Victoria suddenly stood up. I can prove it. Team Leader Smith was abusing his power. First, he used his authority to harass me, and then he insulted Big E. He called him a low-life wage slave, born worthless, and told him to pick the document up off the floor and lick it clean, or he'd find a way to get him fired. My face turned red with anger. I had never seen someone twist the truth so blatantly in my entire life. But then the other colleagues stood up one by one. We can also testify that Team Leader Smith was abusing his power. And I want to report that he has shameful habits. He takes his high salary and spends it on gambling and prostitutes, while eating $7 takeout for lunch. The department manager was furious. Well, Sincere Smith, you're just a team leader, and you're completely out of control. Do you think you own this company? I was demoted and reassigned to the cleaning crew in charge of the restrooms. That day I wanted to call my grandfather and tell him I was quitting, but then I thought again. My grandfather wanted me to train for 3 years before entrusting me with great responsibility. There was only 1 month left. I couldn't let him down. In the afternoon, as I was packing my things, Ethan ordered bubble tea for everyone in the department, except for me. Sincere Smith, remember to clean the toilets thoroughly. Otherwise, you won't even have a toilet to clean next time. You'll be begging on the streets. I couldn't take it anymore and slammed my hands on the desk. Don't you get too cocky. If you hadn't framed me, I wouldn't have ended up like this. I framed you. Everyone here testified against you. Are you blaming me, or are you blaming everyone? I glanced back at them. They all had their heads down, sipping their bubble tea as if nothing had happened. My heart turned to ice. No wonder my grandfather always said this subsidiary's performance was poor and needed a major staff overhaul. Now I could see why it was so necessary. Gritting my teeth, I said no more and started to leave with my box of belongings. But Victoria stuck her foot out, tripping me. I fell face first into the ground, papers scattering everywhere. She chewed on her straw with a playful smile. Oops, how clumsy. Wiping blood from my nose, I knelt to pick up the papers one by one. Ethan planted his leather shoe on my hand, grinding it back and forth. What are you staring at? Don't forget you're just a damn toilet cleaner now. He then slapped me across the face. Still looking? He followed up with several more slaps, leaving me dizzy and disoriented. Keep looking. He grabbed a stapler from a desk. Victoria quickly stopped him. That's enough, Big E. Don't let this get out of hand. He's just a lowlife, not worth getting serious over. Sincere Smith, you listen to me. From now on, you keep your head down in this company. When you see me, you walk the other way or you'll regret it." I nodded. Got it. Then I suddenly spun around, snatched the stapler from his hand, and slammed it into his forehead. "Fuck you, who the hell do you think you are?" Ethan screamed in pain, blood gushing from his forehead as if his skull had cracked. Victoria shrieked beside him. "An ambulance, somebody call an ambulance," things had escalated. The general manager rushed to the scene as Ethan was taken away for emergency treatment. All my colleagues pointed at me. "He did it, Sincere Smith, a toilet cleaner. He's completely unhinged. He attacked him for no reason. I think the guy's a psychopath." The general manager was enraged. "What are you managers doing? Are you all blind? You hire a psychopath into the company?" The department manager was terrified and quickly shifted the blame. "General manager, listen to me. I had no idea Sincere Smith was a psychopath. He seemed normal before. I don't know what's gotten into him these past couple of days. Anyway, call the police first. This is already assault." Hearing this, the general manager suddenly froze and pushed the department manager's phone down. "Don't call the police yet. You said his name is Sincere Smith?" He then looked at me. I was calm, my face stained with sweat and Ethan's blood. The moment our eyes met, the general manager's body trembled. "It really is. 3 years ago, on my 19th birthday, my grandfather celebrated it for me at the Grand Sovereign Hall, and this general manager and I had met once. He had received instructions from the top brass long ago. Someone from headquarters was being sent down for training. He was not to investigate who it was, and certainly not to make it public. He immediately warned everyone that this was an internal company matter. No one was to call the police, or they would be fired on the spot. Then he called me into his office and poured me a cup of tea. "Little master, you've been wronged. This is my failure. It's not your fault. This was my grandfather's wish. By the way, I only have 1 month left to complete my trial. Don't say a word about this. I don't want any special privileges." He shook his head repeatedly. "But I can't let you clean toilets if the chairman finds out. I won't be able to explain myself." "What's wrong with cleaning toilets?" "Don't worry, I'm doing this voluntarily. You just do your job and stay out of the rest." In the end, the police were not involved. The colleagues all assumed the general manager was trying to protect the company's reputation and didn't think much of it. Only Ethan was left to suffer in silence, spending a week in the hospital before being discharged. One workday morning, I had just finished cleaning the company restrooms to a shine. A toilet flushed in the adjacent stall, and a black plastic bag was suddenly thrown out, hitting me on the head. Indescribable filth spilled all over the floor. Ethan walked out smugly, a bandage still wrapped around his head. He pinched his nose and sneered. "Wow, what do we have here? I didn't know you had such an acquired taste. Not only do you clean toilets, but you also take some to go. For old time's sake, I won't report you for stealing company property." Caught completely off guard, I fell to the ground and couldn't help but vomit. Ethan walked to the doorway and shouted, "Everyone, come and see Sincere Smith is in the bathroom eating shit and he's really enjoying it." I turned on the hose and desperately washed myself. Outside the door, a crowd of people pinched their noses, looking on with a mixture of disgust and amusement, laughing heartlessly. "Oh my God, I can't believe he's really into that kind of stuff." The comments were all sarcastic and cruel. I huddled in a corner, trying my best to hide my humiliated face from them. Ethan took the hose, turned the water pressure to maximum, and began spraying me under the guise of helping me clean up. The high-pressure water felt like it was tearing the skin off my back, a searing pain shooting through me. As he sprayed me, he pulled at my clothes. "Don't hide. Show us your face. Weren't you so tough? You dared to fight me. How come you're cowering like a dog now? Have you had enough to eat? If not, I've got plenty more for you." I gritted my teeth, my fists clenched so tight they could have drawn blood. Forcing myself to my feet, I fought against the high-pressure water and lunged at Ethan. In that moment, I wanted to kill him. I pinned him to the ground and punched him in the face again and again. "You think you're so tough? What else can you do besides these cheap tricks?" Ethan was defenseless. I grabbed the still warm black plastic bag and shoved it into his mouth, ramming it deep into his throat so he couldn't even spit it out. Just then, I felt a sharp blow to the back of my head, and the world started spinning. Let him go. It was Victoria, holding a mop, her face filled with terror. Ethan scrambled up, retching, his eyes bloodshot. He snatched the mop handle and began beating me relentlessly as I lay on the ground. Those colleagues were all cold-blooded sycophants. Enjoying the drama, they cheered Ethan on. Kill that son of a bitch harder. The solid wood handle struck my vital areas. I had completely lost the ability to fight back and could only curl up, desperately protecting my head. Then, a few of the cleaning ladies rushed in and pulled Ethan away. Stop hitting him, you're going to kill someone. They immediately called for an ambulance. In the end, I failed to complete my trial. I lay in a coma in the hospital for 5 days and 5 nights. My mother stayed by my bedside, never leaving, her tears all cried out. She scolded my father until he couldn't even lift his head. This is all your fault. Insisting our son go through this trial, I almost had to bury my own child. My father stood numbly at the door, his head tilted back, fighting to keep his tears from falling. His voice trembled as he said, "Secretary Wang, in 12 hours, I want all the information on that person." At midnight, indescribable sounds echoed from the company restroom. "Baby, one more time." Victoria wiped the sweat from her forehead and pushed her hair back. Ethan was breathing heavily. "What's wrong, baby? Something on your mind?" "Big E, it's about Sincere Smith. I'm a little worried." "You don't think he'll die, do you? Or end up in a vegetative state?" Ethan let out a cold laugh and lit a cigarette. "So what if he does? You think I'm scared? With a family like his, even if he dies in the hospital, what kind of trouble can his pauper parents stir up? My dad will hire the best lawyers, and our colleagues are all willing to testify that he attacked me first. It was self-defense. The worst that can happen is we pay them off. $2 million? His worthless life is only worth that much anyway." Victoria finally relaxed and started to laugh with him. "You really are the best, Big E. So capable." "Of course, ha-ha. One more time, baby?" Just then, a knock came from outside the restroom door. Ethan sounded extremely annoyed. Who the hell is it? The person kicked the main door open and then broke the lock on their stall. Seeing this, Victoria scrambled off Ethan. "General Manager, what are you—" She quickly tried to explain. "General Manager, it's not what you think. Big E and I are in a proper relationship. We just got carried away." The general manager clearly had no interest in their sordid affair. His expression was grim, as if he wanted to eat someone alive. He said coldly, "Ethan Williams, you've really screwed me over this time." Ethan knew that his family's demolition money was nothing in the eyes of the general manager. He quickly adopted a subservient posture. "General Manager, this is about Sincere Smith, isn't it? I honestly didn't mean to hit him that hard, but he was being unreasonable, and I had no choice. It was self-defense. But don't worry, it's a personal matter between us. I guarantee it won't affect the company's reputation," the general manager smirked. "Reputation? This whole subsidiary is about to be shut down, and you're talking to me about reputation? You'd better prepare yourself. Your life is about to get very interesting." The next day, an emergency all-hands meeting was called at the subsidiary. The general manager regretfully announced that due to unforeseeable circumstances, the subsidiary was being dissolved. A few veteran employees would be transferred to headquarters, but the rest would all be laid off. Some of the employees had just gotten married. Others were burdened with huge mortgages. In a sluggish economy, losing a job was practically a death sentence. A wave of wailing and despair swept through the room as people refused to accept the reality. "General Manager, what on earth happened? How could a perfectly good company just be dissolved? Was it a PR problem with a product, a marketing failure, or a quality control issue? Whatever it is, you have to give us a reason." The general manager gave a bitter smile. Although he had managed to keep his job, the dissolution of the subsidiary was a devastating blow to his career. His eyes unconsciously drifted to Ethan Williams in the crowd. The venom in his gaze was so intense it was as if he wanted to dig up 18 generations of Ethan's ancestors and whip their corpses. A reason? Who knows? As for certain people, all I can say is may God have mercy on your souls. In the headquarters office. Chairman, we have the information on the man. What are your orders? The hospital says Sincere is out of danger. That bastard hurt my son so badly. Letting him off with a quick end would be too merciful. Don't do anything for now. We'll make arrangements after Sincere is discharged. I spent over half a month recovering in the hospital and was finally able to walk around a bit. One afternoon, a conspicuous figure appeared in my hospital room. I acted as if I didn't see her, staring out the window. What are you doing here? Victoria presented a bouquet of flowers and walked to my bedside. Sincere, I want to apologize for what happened. We were together for a while after all, and I never wanted to see it end like this. Did you know the company is gone? I lost my job. Is that so? I'm truly sorry to hear that. She lowered her voice. I don't know why it happened, but I have a feeling it has something to do with you. She handed me an envelope. It's not much, $5,000, but it's a token of my goodwill. I hope you'll stop causing trouble. I frowned. I'm causing trouble, aren't you? Don't deny it. I know what your situation is like. And let me be clear, the company shutting down has almost no effect on me and Big E. But you've ruined those innocent colleagues. Some of them are the sole breadwinners for their families. Others just had babies. In this economy, cutting off their income, you've basically killed them. It finally dawned on me that my identity was still a secret. Victoria, in her cleverness, had assumed that after I was beaten, my pauper parents had gone to the company to raise hell, causing a media scandal that led to its bankruptcy. I let out a cold laugh. I don't think those people are innocent at all. They were willing to twist the truth and frame me for a cup of bubble tea. When Ethan was beating me half to death in the restroom, they were all cheering him on. Do people like that deserve sympathy? In truth, I knew exactly which employees were decent people. Not only were they not laid off, but they were all promoted after being transferred to headquarters, including the cleaning ladies. In my opinion, those cold-blooded sycophants deserve whatever they get. Victoria shook her head. So you admit you were behind this. Sincere, when did you become like this? I barely recognize you anymore. Yes, you're like a stray dog, with nothing to lose, so you win. You're tough. I waved my hand dismissively. I don't want to argue with you. If there's nothing else, please leave. She turned to go, pathetic, tragic. Just then, someone pushed the door open and bumped right into Victoria. Normally, Victoria would have cursed them out, but as she looked up, her eyes were met with designer heels, a limited edition dress, and lavish jewelry. The woman's ethereal face told her this was no ordinary person. The curse words on the tip of her tongue were swallowed back down. Before she could speak, Isabel Summers apologized first. I'm sorry, miss. Are you hurt? The eldest daughter of the Summers family, just back from abroad. This was class. Victoria felt an overwhelming sense of being looked down upon and just shook her head numbly. While she stood there confused, Isabel had already come to my side, carefully helping me. Sincere, the doctor said you need to rest more. Why are you so disobedient, getting out of bed again? What if your wounds reopen? By the way, is this lady your friend? I nodded. I suppose so. Isabel warmly shook her hand. Hello. My name is Isabel Summers. I'm Sincere's fiancée. Victoria froze. A feeling she had never experienced before, a sour pang, shot through her heart. Fiancée? Yes. Didn't Sincere tell you? We were actually engaged when we were 16, but due to some circumstances, we've only just made it official. We're getting married next month. That night, Victoria sent me a voice message. Sincere Smith, you're a huge liar. You had a fiancé this whole time, but you told me you were single. You were just playing with my feelings. I laughed. I never lied to you. As Isabel said, we only recently made our relationship official. To be honest, she took care of me by my bedside for so long, and I was genuinely moved. I should really thank you for showing me what true love is and who is worthy of my trust. At this point, Victoria still didn't know my true identity, But everything that had happened recently, the profitable company suddenly dissolving, a wealthy heiress caring for me tirelessly in the hospital had made her suspect something, though she couldn't be entirely sure. Her voice began to tremble. "Sincere, if I had agreed to go home with you that day to meet your grandfather, would things have been different?" I answered with certainty. "Yes, very different." She became even more agitated. "So, can you give me one more chance? You know how much I love you." As for Ethan, I was just momentarily blinded. Her next message never went through. Seeing the red exclamation mark, she became even more certain of some things. On Sunday, Ethan brought Victoria some good news. His father had decided to use the demolition payout to start a small company. Ethan would be the CEO, and he wanted to hire Victoria as his private secretary. She would get the best compensation and wouldn't have to slave away like a wage slave anymore. Normally, Victoria would have been over the moon at such news. Unfortunately for him, she had received a phone call from me 3 hours earlier. "I'm sorry, Big E, I can't accept your offer." Ethan was surprised. "Victoria, what's wrong? Is the pay not good enough?" "Don't worry, it's our own company. You can name your price. You're my woman, so what's mine is yours," Victoria said coldly. "I'm sorry, Big E, I really can't. I've already found a new job. Also, we're breaking up." "Victoria, are you joking with me? What job?" "To be a dog. To be someone's dog." Over the past few days, Victoria had tried desperately to contact me through various means. I was so fed up with her pestering that I finally made a deal with her. I would hire her as a maid in my home. As long as she was in the Smith household, I wouldn't harm her, and I would let go of the past. However, she could not tell anyone she was a servant. Instead, she had to say she was the Smith family's dog, and she was forbidden from revealing why she had agreed to be a dog. The answer was too absurd, but Victoria's tone was dead serious. Ethan knew she meant it and didn't press further. "Whose dog?" "Sincere Smith's." The next day, when Isabel happened to be away, Ethan stormed into my hospital room, furious. "Sincere Smith? What kind of games are you playing with me? Did you brainwash Victoria?" I just smirked, not dignifying him with a response. He grew even angrier. A nurse rushed over to hold him back. "Sir, this is a hospital, please don't cause trouble." Ethan, who was used to throwing his weight around, slapped her across the face. The nurse's lips split, and she began to cry silently. Ethan threw a wad of cash in her face. "You bitch, if you're going to cry, get the hell out of here. You want to lose your job?" Victoria suddenly rushed into the room with flowers. Seeing Ethan grabbing my collar, she nearly jumped out of her skin. "What are you doing?" "Let him go." Ethan grabbed her hand. "Victoria, tell me what's going on. Is he threatening you? Don't be afraid. I'm here. No one can hurt you." She gritted her teeth. "No one is forcing me. I'm willing to be Sincere's dog. Or stop making a scene here." Ethan completely lost control. "You're lying. Sincere Smith is just a pauper, a low life. You must have been brainwashed by him. You son of a bitch, how dare you touch my woman?" He lunged at me, but in the next second, a spray of blood flew through the air. Victoria stood trembling, holding a pair of scissors. "Big E, don't force me." I pushed Ethan away and punched him in the face. He broke out in a cold sweat, clutching the wound on his side. He looked back at Victoria with utter disappointment. Victoria, however, immediately rushed to my side to help me up. "Woof woof, Sincere, are you okay? I'll call the police right now." Ethan laughed hysterically and shook his head. "Ha ha ha, Sincere Smith, you've really got something." He gave me a thumbs up as he backed away. "We'll see about this." Ethan had become completely obsessed. He was convinced I had brainwashed Victoria. He started spending a fortune hiring masters to try and win Victoria back first, before getting his revenge on me. I was discharged from the hospital. My father prepared a banquet and publicly apologized to me. Even my grandfather, who had already retired, said his previous arrangement was inappropriate. I shook my head. "No, it's not your fault. This trial was incredibly meaningful for me. I believe I can withstand any storm that comes my way in the future." Secretary Wang said to my father, Chairman, "Now that the young master has recovered, Perhaps we can deal with that fellow." He made a throat-slitting gesture. My father nodded in silent agreement, but I shook my head. "No, the Smith family runs a legitimate business. I don't want you to do something like that for my sake. I have a better idea." That night, Victoria brought a basin of hot water to wash my feet. "Sincere, is the temperature okay?" I lit a cigarette. "I hear Ethan is throwing a birthday banquet next week. Did he invite you? Don't worry. I've completely cut ties with him." "No, you have to go. I heard he arranged that banquet specifically for you. He's hired a master to perform a ritual for you." "Sincere, that man has gone insane," I grinned. "But I need you to play along with his insanity. After the ritual is over, I want you to return to normal." Victoria looked terrified. "Sincere, why?" I smiled. "We are all civilized people, and the Smith family engages in legal business, so I won't use such low-handed tactics against him. First give him hope, and then plunge him into despair. That will surely be interesting." Secretary Wang walked in with a file. "Little master, as per your instructions, I have invested $80 million in the Williams Company. They've made a small profit." I nodded. "Excellent." After the birthday banquet, Victoria returned to Ethan's side. With a beautiful woman in his arms and his family's company making money, it was a double victory in love and career. "Victoria, you're finally back to normal. Let's get married next week." "Okay." He then called his assistant. "Any news on Sincere Smith?" "Not a peep. If he were some big shot, we would have found out by now." Ethan lit a cigarette and nodded with a smile. "So he really is just a pauper who is putting on an act. Very good. Next week, Victoria and I are getting married. Send him an invitation." On the day of the wedding, I wore a simple suit to offer my congratulations. When Ethan saw me, the animosity was gone from his face. He knew that now, with both wealth and the woman, he could afford to treat a complete loser with a more magnanimous approach. Destroying a man's spirit is the cruelest form of murder. "Sincere, you're here, don't be a stranger. Come on in." I smiled in response. "Ethan, congratulations on your wedding. Thanks. Sincere, we're all adults now. Let's let bygones be bygones. We'll have a few drinks later. Sounds good." The ceremony began. Ethan, beaming with confidence, walked his bride onto the stage in a white tuxedo. To have achieved what I have today, I must first thank my parents, who have always supported me. Then, I want to thank my love, Victoria, for letting me experience the beauty of love. Additionally, I want to thank a special guest, Mr. Sincere Smith. Let's give him a round of applause. Pushed onto the stage by the applause, Ethan grabbed my hand. A malicious smile spread across his face. "Sincere, thank you for bringing Victoria to me. Thank you for getting our old company shut down and making me lose my job, which gave me the resolve to start my own company, make a fortune, and achieve what I have today." I was unfazed by his taunts and responded with a smile. "You're welcome." Victoria was already avoiding my gaze, but Ethan, completely oblivious, continued his triumphant speech. "By the way, are you still ordering from those budget meal apps?" "Occasionally." "Haha, we're brothers. If you can't afford to eat in the future, just come to me. You're my lucky star. How could I let you starve? By the way, you're probably unemployed now, right? How about coming to work at my company? Though with your skills, an office job might be a stretch. Toilet cleaner? I think the position is filled. How about you come be my mascot? Just stand at the company entrance every day. I'll pay you $5,000 a month. How about it?" I laughed along with him. "Sure. But before that, I have something to confess to you, about the bride." With that, I took Victoria's hand. Ethan was instantly enraged. "What are you doing?" Victoria not only didn't resist, but used the momentum to kneel before me on one knee. Woof, woof. The guests below the stage were stunned. Veins bulged on Ethan's forehead. "Victoria, what are you doing?" She kept her head down, not responding. Woof, woof. Ethan couldn't take it anymore. "You bitch, are you trying to humiliate me on purpose?" "No, it's you. You've put some spell on her again, master." "Where the hell is the master?" The master emerged from the crowd, smiling. Mr. Williams, do you really believe in something like brainwashing in this world? It dawned on him. All right, so you're all in this together. I'm calling the police. I'll have all of you scammers arrested, especially you, Sincere Smith. I cleaned my ear with my pinky. The police? Fine. But I didn't scam you out of a single penny. You're the one who paid for this master. As for Victoria, she's been my family's servant for a while now. Who can you blame for misplacing your trust? He gave me a thumbs up, then pulled out his phone to call for backup. In his mind, even if the wedding was off, he still had his profitable company. With money, he could find any woman he wanted. A bitch like Victoria wasn't worth it. But the call didn't go through. Below the stage, his father had just received news and looked utterly devastated. Son, our company, it's bankrupt. Ethan was stunned. He turned to look at me. I gave a slight nod, confirming it was my doing. He collapsed to his knees. Sincere Smith, who in God's name are you? Our social circles didn't overlap, but someone in the crowd recognized me. I think that's the young master of the Smith Corporation. Ethan's eyes widened. The Smith Corporation? Impossible, absolutely impossible. He's just a poor wage slave who eats $7 takeout. How could he possibly be the young master of the Smiths? The master stepped forward and presented a business card. Look closely. I am the secretary to the chairman of the Smith Corporation, and this is our young master, Sincere Smith. You blind fool, a trashy nouveau riche from a demolition payout. And you dared to cause trouble for the young master at the subsidiary. Ethan still refused to believe it and looked at Victoria. She said coldly, Big E, have you ever wondered why a profitable subsidiary would suddenly shut down? Secretary Wang added, You nearly ended the Smith family line. With the chairman's temper, it's a miracle you're still alive today. Given Ethan's lifelong arrogance, if I were merely the son of some ordinary wealthy family, he would have fought me to the bitter end. But the Smith Corporation, he knew, even in his next life, he couldn't touch them. He immediately crumbled, crawling to my feet. Young Master Smith, I was blind and didn't recognize your greatness. Please forgive my ignorance. Hit me. Do to me what I did to you. I won't complain. No, do it twice as hard. He grabbed my hand and tried to make me slap him, knowing that if I beat him now and vented my anger, he might still have a chance to survive. But if I didn't lay a hand on him, the consequences would be severe. I grabbed his wrist and instead of hitting him, I treated him with courtesy. No need to get so worked up. It's your big day after all. What would people think? I straightened his messy suit. His body was trembling. Young Master Smith, please spare me. Drip, drip. A puddle of some unknown liquid formed on the floor. Someone shouted. He pissed himself. The guy was so scared he pissed his pants at the same time. A middle-aged couple rushed forward and started punching and kicking Ethan. It was his parents. Young Master Smith, this degenerate son of ours offended you, but those were his actions alone. It has nothing to do with us. I smiled. But as the old saying goes, the father is to blame for the son's misdeeds. You bear some responsibility for how he turned out. No, I'm not his father. I'll disown him tomorrow. I have nothing to do with him. His mother showed an equally strong will to survive. That's right, we never gave birth to such a monster. I'm cutting ties with him too. I smiled, turned around and said no more. Ethan knew exactly what he had done to me. If our roles were reversed, he would have killed me without hesitation. He lived in constant fear, sleeping with one eye open, but in reality I had no intention of retaliating further. The scene at the wedding hall was the entirety of my plan. In the end, the pressure was too much for him to bear, and he chose to end his life by jumping off a building. The day after I received news of Ethan's death, I fired Victoria. She was terrified, fully aware of the pain her betrayal had caused me. She thought I would use the same methods to destroy her. I handed her a bank card. There's $10 million in here. Consider it your salary for this period. Tears streamed down her face. Sincere, I wronged you. I can't take your money. I don't deserve it. I said coldly, this money isn't a gift. I have one last task for you. Take this money, go abroad, or find a place to live under a new name. I don't want to see you ever again for the rest of my life. Remember, do not ever appear before me again, or don't blame me for what happens. Sincere, that's enough. You can go now. A month later, Isabel Summers and I were married. Soon after, I took over the Smith Corporation from my father. Those 3 years of trial taught me a great deal and showed me the true nature of many things. I believe those experiences will be of great help to me for the rest of my life.